Hello everyone, I'm Dragonite13 and welcome to Mansions of Madness. Okay, so you might notice I haven't set the game up yet, and that's because I don't know how the game's going to be set up, because Mansions of Madness is actually controlled by an app. So we're going to get to that in a second. But first, let me just say I have saved the best for last. Mansions of Madness is a great game, and it's probably one of the best games I own. Now, Mansions of Madness is controlled by an app here, so we're going to show you what it looks like. There we go, so now we tell we want to play a new game, and then we choose our scenario, and we have a lot of scenarios to choose from, including ones that you can actually buy as DLC. Yes, this is a board game with DLC. What a time to be alive. But we're going to be playing from the first scenario, Cycle of Eternity, just because it's this simpler one. And it's going to ask what investigators we're playing as. Now, for the most part, I'm going to have this app off screen, and I'm just going to be using it myself, but I'll bring it on once in a while to show what's happening. So, our investigators we're going to be playing as today are Rita Young, who's an athlete that can run faster than the other investigators, and Wendy Adams, who cannot become stunned or restrained because she's a street urchin. And, you know, you can't catch street urchins. They're slippery little bastards. And just for this sake of clarity, this is Rita, the athlete. And then this is Wendy, the urchin. Just so you know, when I'm moving around characters, you can keep track of which one's which. Alright, so now we tell the app we're all set. And those are the characters we're playing as. And it tells us what items we start with, which come from a big old item deck, which I didn't take it out of the bag already because I'm an idiot. That's fine. Items come in several different categories, including spells, common items, and unique items. So let's see here. I'm going to take the piles, separate them over here. I'm going to have them off screen in this general area most of the time. So just know that if I'm ever searching through cards, that's where I'm going. So let's see here. We get a crowbar. Let's see, crowbar. A holy cross, kerosene lantern, and King James Bible. Here's the lantern. Holy water, or no, holy cross, not holy water, I'm sorry. Holy cross. And the King James Bible is right there. Okay. So Mansions of Madness is actually an exploration and mystery game about the Cthulhu mythos. So we're going to need weapons and holy items and all sorts of spells in order to help us survive. And we don't know what our objective is right off the bat, so we're just going to have to kind of explore and find out. So let's see. Holy Cross gives us an extra die when we're resolving a will test, which the lowest will is Wendy the Urchin, so I'm going to give that to her. And I'm keeping their stats just off screen over here, just so you're aware. Let's see. The King James Bible. With this, you or another investigator with range may discard a horror. Okay. I'm going to give that to the athlete just because she's moving faster and she's more likely to get in range of Wendy if they need healing. Okay, the crowbar is a heavy weapon, so why don't we give that to the one with the highest strength, which is the athlete. And the lantern is a light source, which you can use when attacking unarmed. Well, Wendy's unarmed, so let's give it to her. Now we also get a spell with Flesh Ward. Let's see here. Flesh Ward. Here it is. Now, spells are a little different from items in the fact that there are multiple copies of each spell, but they have unique backs, because the idea is you cast a spell and some unforeseen side effect happens. Usually it's do a skill check to try and avoid something bad happening to you, or sometimes just something bad will outright happen. So spells are kind of like a double-edged sword. So we have to pick one at complete random without seeing what its back is and give it to somebody. And Flesh Ward in particular lets someone discard a damage. So we've got Rita in charge of discarding horror. So let's give Wendy the damage one. For the record, damage and horror is kept track of on a character's. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this at an angle, so I gotta see how it looks in the camera. But this is a character's health. They take this much damage, they become wounded. And this is a character's sanity. They take this much horror, they go insane. All right, also, each investigator begins with 2 clues. Clues are these little tokens here with the magnifying glasses. What they do is they can help us solve puzzles and perform skill checks a little better. So they're good to have. Alright, everybody's got what they need, so what's next? Okay, as you can see, the app here gives us an H.P. Lovecraft quote. Well, you would be able to see if the camera could focus. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Now we begin.
You slump into your office chair after another long day of interviews. You've been investigating the disappearances surrounding a wealthy neighborhood for 2 weeks, but you have nothing to show for it. The telephone rings. You answer and hear the panicked voice of an older man.
Is this the investigator who visited the Vanderbilt estate?
You flip through the files on your desk. William Vanderbilt, a wealthy bachelor, mother recently deceased. He has refused to meet with you, but you were able to speak to several members of his serving staff.
This is Eugene, Mr. Vanderbilt's butler. I didn't know who else to call. The police think I'm crazy. Unnatural things have started happening here. I'm worried for my master. I think he's in danger. Please, help.
Finally, a lead. You hang up the phone, throw on your coat, and leave for the Vanderbilt estate.
And that's our setup for the story. And that was the only part that's actually going to be narrated out loud by the app. The rest is all on us. So let's begin. And it tells us exactly what happened. It looks like this in-game. It just shows all the tiles and what's there. And it gives a little narration box, but the camera can't focus on that very well, so I'm just going to read it out loud for you so you can know what happens. Also, we get a nice soundtrack throughout the whole thing, so I really appreciate that. Your car rattles up the uneven drive, pulling to a stop in front of the estate. Several cars and carriages are parked along the drive. However, the butler who contacted you is nowhere to be seen. You knock on the large oak door to no response. Fearing something has happened, you try the handle, and the door swings open into a lavish entryway. Which, let me grab that for you right now. So while I'm getting this tile, let me say that this game is randomized. It's not the same every single time. Let's go right there. That looks pretty good. I can with the camera a tad, yeah. Oh, not that much of a tad. Make sure the tripod's. Sorry, I got like a 2-inch tall tripod, so I gotta be careful to not overbalance it. Okay. And also, there is a door up here that's actually going to be covered up by a painting because the app says we're not going to use that door. So this game is actually randomized by the app, but the general story of the scenarios will more or less be the same every time you play them. Just like specific things will be in different spots, but the general idea of what you're doing and where you're going is going to be the same. So there will be spoilers for this scenario. I haven't actually played this scenario much. I played like a couple rounds just to like test it out, and I had a lot of fun. So really, the big scenario I played before was I believe it's called Shadows over Innsmouth, which is like a 3-hour scenario, and it was a lot of fun. I didn't win, but I had so much fun playing that one. This is a great game. Okay, next. Oh, there's another. Oops, I didn't see. There was another painting right here to block this door. Okay. You step into the warmth of the house. A strange stillness hangs in the air, and your footsteps echo through the quiet entrance. So now we are inside the house. In the middle of the lobby sits a table with a small pile of papers. This is a search token. This basically means that we can spend an action to search this object, try and find clues to tell us what's going on. A table with a telephone sits on top of the staircase to the right. A mysterious painting of a nighttime landscape looms over the lobby staircases. Right there. Oop, that didn't sound good. The silence is broken by the muffled shouts and sounds of crashing pots and pans coming from the door on your right. You notice a shelf stacked with books and other objects nearby. Pushing it in front of the door could prevent someone or something from coming through. This is a barricade. They look like this. And barricades can be used to block doors and prevent things you don't want to get through the door from getting through the door, unless they're strong enough to push it out of the way. 3 other doors lead into the mansion. So basically the game's saying there's nothing really descript about these doors at the moment, but we can go through there if we want. By the way, these are called Explore tokens. They just represent doors that we haven't opened and gone through yet. Alright, now we begin the Investigator Phase. This is when our characters can take their turns. So you can take your character's turns in any order you want, and on your turn you can do 2 actions. And actions are a lot of things from moving, to investigating, to exploring, to attacking, you name it. But, let's see. Okay, so we know there's a lot of noise coming from here. I want to see what these other doors are, so I can actually, because the app shows me the layout of the place at any given time, so I can just say, what's this door? And it's just going to give me a brief description. The door leads to a small front room of the mansion. Now that doesn't cost me an action to look at that, so I can double check all of these. Like, I can look at this one, it says, the door leads deeper into the mansion, or this one, door leads deeper into the mansion. So there's nothing really descript about the doors there. Okay, good to know. But, let's see. So, if there's crashing pot and pans, something bad's happening here. Let's have the athlete with the gun. Or not the gun, the weapon. Because she has a crowbar. Let's have her use her first action to explore this room. A ruckus can be heard on the other side of this door. Shouting, the crash of pots and pans. And is that hissing? So now I can tell the app I'd like to use my action to explore that room. The door swings open to reveal a dining room in chaos. An aging man in a tailcoat scrambles through a serving window into the kitchen as he tries to escape a strange black creature writhing on the dining room table. So let me find the dining room for you. Let's see here. Dining room. Where are you? Here we are. The dining room goes right here. Let's shift this over just a little bit. Okay, so here's the dining room. Aha. So now we get our first creature. The creature turns to face you. Its black, serpentine body shifts and changes, playing tricks on your eyes as you try to focus on it. The creature unfurls its leathery wings and unleashes a blood-curdling screech. Alright, and it's gonna deal 2 horror to us, unless we can negate it. See, the app is actually going to be kind to us, as we've uncovered a hunting horror. And it says we're going to suffer 2 horror, but we can do a will test to try and negate it. What that means is we take a look at our character here, and they have a list of different skills on the right here with different values. Here we are. And Rita's will is 4. That means I get to roll 4 dice to try and negate this damage. So here we are. Got 4 dice right here. We're just going to roll. Nice. Okay. So each of these elder signs you see on top here, looks like this. That's a success. So I rolled 2 successes, which means I can negate 2 of the horror damage, which was all the damage that it was going to do. So nothing happens. In the center of the dining table, a carving knife sits embedded in a roast. Alright, so let me get a knife from my stack of items. Here we are. So there's a knife sitting on the table that I can just use an action to pick up if I'm in its same space. Which, by the way, spaces are divided by, you can't really, well, you can kind of see it on the camera, but there's these white lines that denote spaces. Okay. Now, a china cabinet stands against the wall, though it looks to have been repurposed to store all manner of knickknacks. Yeah, that's nice. I'm a little more preoccupied by the hunting horror in the room rather than the knickknacks. You can see a kitchen through the serving window. Most of the cabinets are ajar due to the food preparation, but one that has been locked shut with a chain catches your attention. Oh my god, there's more. In the kitchen, you can also see that someone has left the refrigerator open. Water leaks out into a puddle on the floor. You spot the old man you saw climbing through the serving window, huddling in the corner behind the oven. Sweat beads off his brow, and his eyes bulge in terror. This is Eugene, the butler. Let me find him. Here we are. Here's Eugene, cowering in fear. Alright, so that's the exploration done. It tells us everything that's in the room and what's going on. So now I have the option of moving my explorer into the room, which I will, because Rita ain't scared of no hunting horror. Alright, now that angle will have to do for now. Okay. So now something I want to point out with the app here is that you'll notice the investigators and the monsters are not anywhere on the app. It trusts you to take care of them because it doesn't know where you're going at any given time. You just tell it when you want to interact with something more or less so it can tell you what happens. Alright. So, Rita's here with a hunting horror. How about we use her second action to attack? So we're going to attack with the crowbar. And the crowbar is listed as a heavy weapon. So we're going to tell the app that we'd like to attack this creature with a heavy weapon. So we do an attack, and ask what type of weapon we're going to attack with. We're going to attack with a heavy weapon. Sorry, again, I know most of the... Why aren't you focusing? Hey, focus. Okay, this camera really does not want to focus on these things. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get good quality. Okay, that'll have to do for now, as long as you can see what's happening. Alright, so we tell it we're attacking it with a heavy weapon, and it's going to tell us exactly what happens. So, right now it says, you bring your weapon down, attempting to crush any mysterious appendage within reach. And we do a strength test with a difficulty of 2. And oh god, a giant cat has appeared on the table. Okay, so Rita's strength is a strength of 5. So we're going to roll 5 dice. And we need to get 2 or better. Oh, we crushed the shit out of that. We got 4 successes right there. That's pretty good. And I know you can't see the dice. I'm sorry. I'm focusing on the giant monster. But yeah, okay. So we passed. Now we read the text. If you passed, your swing connects and the gruesome noise of the impact makes your stomach turn. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result. Which the weapon's damage was 2, and we got a result of 4, so that's 6 damage. And that is enough to kill it, because it only had 5 health. Holy shit, Rita. Smack the shit out of that thing. One swing with a crowbar killed a hunting horror. Jesus Christ. The creature lurches to the ground, dead. Hearing the monster's final fate, the old man in the kitchen cautiously steps out. Yeah, I killed the thing, Eugene. What's up? Alright, so those were both of Rita's actions, so now we have to move back over here to see what Wendy's up to. I think we'll leave Rita in the kitchen to do some investigating there. So with Wendy, how about we take a look at these, I believe they were newspapers? Let me see. Disheveled pile of papers. Why don't we use our first action to search that? So, the papers stacked on the table are invitations marked with today's date. The stars have come round to their positions in the cycle of eternity. The Vanderbilt Astronomy Association cordially invites you to a celebratory evening. Gain a clue token, and then discard this search token. Okay, cool. So we gain a clue. Neat. Okay, so for Wendy's second action, how about... let's see, because this was a phone, right? Let me see. Yeah, end table with a telephone. And then this was a landscape painting. Oh, I'm sorry. Get the camera up. Okay. And this was a landscape painting of a starry night. And the papers mentioned something about astronomy, so why don't we use our second action to move up here, and then Wendy is done for the turn. So, now that all our investigators have done their actions, we tell the app that we're ready to end the phase. Let me just show what the transition looks like. So we tell it, yeah, we're done with the Investigator Phase. Now comes the Mythos Phase. And the Mythos Phase is when the app will try to fuck with us. Your footsteps sound clearly throughout the building. No immediate effect. So it's going to go easy on us for right now, but the longer this game goes on, the more it's going to really screw with us. So we're kind of on an effective time limit here. Okay, so why don't we... Let's see. Why don't we check back in with Rita and the butler? Let's talk to the butler. The old man brushes himself off and tries to calm his shaken composure. You came just in time. Thank you so much for saving me. The name is Eugene. We spoke earlier today. I've heard noises from the tower, but the door is locked. I think something bad is going to happen. Really, what was your first fucking clue? Was it the Eldritch Horror that we just beat it with a crowbar? Okay, so we can spend an action to ask him, are you okay, or where is Mr. Vanderbilt? Let's ask him... Let's ask him if he's alright. Are you okay? The butler puts on a weak smile, and the two of you chat for a minute. By the end of the conversation, he seems much calmer. Please take this with you. It has always brought me luck. And we get the... Jesus, cat, why'd you have to do that? Alright, we get the lucky rabbit's foot. And then each investigator in the dining room and the kitchen discards a horror. What? I don't have any, but we get the lucky rabbit's foot. Let's see here. Lucky rabbit's foot. Here we are. Lucky rabbit's foot is a piece of equipment. And it says, once per round, you may reroll one die. That's pretty good. That is a pretty good ability. I will take that. Alright, so we still have another action. We could ask him where Mr. Vanderbilt is, I believe. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, he's got something else to say. Eugene calmly tells you what happened before you arrived. Several robed figures entered the mansion through the side door and took Mr. Vanderbilt to the tower. Soon after they arrived, I could hear them chanting. And we could spend an action to ask him, where is that? Which sounds like useful information to me, so yeah, where is that? Those ruffians took Mr. Vanderbilt to the tower. You can get to the tower through the north door of the hall, but the door is locked. Mr. Vanderbilt likely keeps the key in his... Wait. I'm not sure he would want me trusting you with this. So now we have to do a check, a skill challenge here. We have to do a skill check for focusing. Come on. Here we are. We have to do a skill check where it doesn't tell us how much we need. So we just need to get as much as we can, just tell it how much we got. And this one is for influence, which Rita only has 2 influence. Awesome. So, let's see. Okay, that's not bad. So we have 1 success here, and then you see this magnifying glass? We can spend one of our clue tokens to turn magnifying glass results into success results. So we're going to do that to get 2. Okay, so with 2 results, he tells us. Alright, Mr. Vanderbilt has a hidden office that he often retreats to. The door is hidden in the estate's library, which is through the west door when you get into the hall. It uses a very strange lock hidden behind a bookshelf. The butler instructs you on how to open the secret door in the library. Gain a clue. Nice. So I spent a clue to get a clue. That is good economy right there. Alright, unfortunately that's all of Rita's actions done, so now we have to check in with Wendy. I know. Seriously? Alright. Okay, so we know the library is somewhere to the west here. Which is bad, because that's where I've got my stuff. Alright, so we're going to have to slide some stuff over here. Give me a sec. Here we go. Okay. So one of these doors to the west is the library. Well, first, since we're already here, let's take a look at this landscape painting. So let's spend an action to search it. Shadowy figures can be seen amidst the landscape. However, something in the stars catches your interest. Do a lore check, which Wendy's lore is 3. So, we're going to take 3 dice. So what do we get? 1, but I do have an extra clue here, so I'm going to turn this into a success for 2. So, 2 successes. What does it tell us? You identify several of the specks of light in the sky as planets. They are all occupying the same section of the sky, as if coming into alignment. Not unlike the planets in the sky tonight. Beneath the painting, a plaque reads, "In memory of Lilith Vanderbilt." Gain 2 clues. Nice. Alright. That was a good trade. And Wendy's just piling on the clues. Okay. So that's done. And since we're already in the vicinity of this door, why don't we go ahead and explore it? It leads deeper into the mansion. The door opens into a dim hallway that winds through the heart of the mansion. Alright, what tile am I looking for? Hall Corner 1 and Hall End. Okay, well, Okay, I see. So the hall end is actually going right above here. And then hall corner. Let's see. Which one? Hall corner 1. That's 2. Sorry, give me a sec. I'm working on it. Hall 1. Hall corner 3. Here we are. Hall corner 1. Okay, so hall corner 1 is going to go right here. So let me move to show you. It's just been added. There we go. And then there is a cabinet instead of a door right here. Okay. Oh, and we don't need this token anymore. Alright, let's see. A wooden desk stands against the wall. Right. Hey. Sorry, my cat's fighting me. Okay, so a wooden desk stands against the wall. It's right over there. And oh god, what just happened? Camera, speak to me. The horrors are too much. The camera can't stay straight. Okay, here we are. Alright. So it's a wooden desk. Someone acting in a hurry has knocked over a stack of papers. You don't say. Right there. Then 3 doors lead to other rooms of the mansion. Let's go here, here, and 1 down here. Okay. Then you could use the surrounding furniture to barricade the door should the need arise. So we got another barricade hanging out right down in this space here. Okay. And now I can freely move into the room, which I will. Alright, so let me see if this door to the west here... Yes, that is the library door. Okay. So this is our library, which is where the secret entrance towards the tower is going to be, which is what we kind of want to get to. Although we might explore more to get more clues. But in any case, all of our actions are done, so now it's time for a Mythos Phase. The stars revolve around the center of the universe, infinite in its awful and unstoppable motion. No immediate effect. Cool, thanks, Gabe. Right, so, let's see. Meanwhile, Rita's way over here in the kitchen. We're probably going to want to get her moving, but I'm going to want this knife, so we're going to actually do 2 actions at once. We're going to do a move to move over here, and we can interrupt a move to do a second action. So we're going to use a trade action to pick up this knife, and then continue our move to go 2, and normally you can only move up to 2 spaces in a move action, but Rita has a special ability that lets her move 1 more, so she can move 3. So she moves back into there. We're just going to leave the kitchen unexplored. I don't think there's going to be any major clues in there, although a locked cabinet sounds like it might have something good, but we don't have time. So we found the library, which Wendy's got a lot of clues, so I'm feeling confident with her going in. Let's explore the library. The door creaks on its hinges as you push it open to reveal the library. Bookshelves line the walls. Okay. Oh, hey, library was on top of the pile. What do you know? Okay, so the library goes right here. There we are. Bring the camera down. That. Excellent. Okay. And then there's a cabinet instead of a door right there. Okay. A pile of research materials that have been recently used sits on a small wooden desk. A robed figure is pushing a bookshelf back into place. Oh god, a robed figure. That doesn't sound good. Sure enough, it's not. Oh, Jesus, what? Okay, hold up. Okay. The robed figure draws out a strange idol and begins chanting. Before your very eyes, a terrifying creature appears out of thin air. It's like a little fishman dude. The cult member speaks some words to it in a strange language, but the creature turns on him, tearing him to pieces before your eyes. Alright, so we're going to suffer 2 horror, but we can do a will check to negate it, which... Wendy here has a will of 3, so... And a quick roll. 2. That's exactly what we need. Nice. So we suffer no horror. This is just a lovely, non-stressful trip through a mansion. No big deal. Alright, so we can move 1 space into the area if we want. So here's the thing. I kind of don't want to. Because, Jesus. Okay, how about for now, we back up, meet up with Rita, and let this come to us. I think that's what we're going to do for right now. So I'm going to go like this. 1, 2, hey Rita, guess what? There is a giant fish monster guarding the bookcase. What? Yeah, giant fish monster. Alright, so let me see if I can get the autofocus to look a little better. Not really. Okay. So that's all our actions done. So now Mythos Phase. Now that Mythos Phase is going to be a little more interesting because we have a creature that can do stuff. But first, a cacophony of creaks and knocks erupts all around you. This Mythos event affects the investigator with the lowest lore. The lowest lore, it's actually a tie. So in the case of a tie, we get to choose who it affects. So we're going to choose that it affects Wendy. Because she has a higher sanity, which I feel is about to happen. Alright, the sound is unnerving, and you fear what it could be causing it. Do a will check with a difficulty of 2. Well, why did lore matter? Alright. Wendy's will is 3, so that's okay. Oh, but I forgot, she has the Holy Cross. Which means when she's doing a will test, she gets an extra die, so she has 4. Oh, this is lucky. So we're trying to get 2. Oof. We got 1, but we have plenty of clues to spare, so I'm going to spend 1, turn this into a success for 2. If you pass, the sound must just be vermin in the walls. Okay. If we had failed, we would have suffered some horror, so that's alright. But yeah, we passed. So nothing bad happens. The Deep One moves up to 2 spaces to be in a space with as many investigators as possible. Then it attacks each investigator in its space. Well, it is over here. So it could go like that, but it's not going to have anybody. Nobody within 2 spaces. I'm going to tell the app. Alright, so I'm saying there's nobody within 2 spaces. So it's saying, okay, just move them 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator then. And now comes this bit. Each investigator must resolve a horror check against the monster within range with the highest horror rating. Okay, so what this means... when it says within range, it means within 3 spaces. So if we go 1, 2, we're technically within range. Except range does not count through walls, but it does count through doors, I believe. So, and when it says horror rating, it's referring to. It's really hard to see, but there's a number in the lower right here. So just whichever monster, if there's multiple, had the highest rating, we would have to do a check against that. But we're technically within range. I think, you know what? Let me double check the rules on that one. Hang on one second. Okay. Actually, we are not in range. I double checked. Range cannot be counted through doors unless something specifies that it can. So we are actually totally good. So Mythos Phase over. So yay, that's good. What's not yay is we have this motherfucking deep one after us. But first, let's activate Wendy, who's going to do a trade action to take the knife from Rita and put it into her inventory. Next. Let's see. I kind of just want her to chill out for right now. Because she's not really going to help out in the fight very much, so she can just hang out here and we can let Rita charge in. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna have Rita go 1, 2 for her movement action. And now we're gonna fight this deep one. So we're gonna tell it that we're attacking with the crowbar again. So we're attacking this deep one with a heavy weapon. Your foe lashes out at you, and for a moment you catch the outstretched limb. You try to heft your weapon with your other arm. Do a strength test with a difficulty of 2. Luckily, Rita's got a strength of 5, so this should be really fucking easy. Oh, wow. Only 1 success outright, but it's okay. I can actually use my Lucky Rabbit's Foot. Once per round, I can reroll 1 die. So I'm going to reroll this die. There we go. There's our second success. Alright, if you pass, you manage to raise the weapon enough to bring it down painfully on the immobilized limb. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage, which the crowbar has 2 damage, so... Boop, boop. Okay. 2 damage. Well... Rita is going to stay in this room with it, because if it's in this room, it's not doing a horror check to, Wendy over there. Which, speaking of, actually, Wendy could move up here, because, yeah, doesn't count through doors, so that's fine. We just retroactively did a turn, no big deal. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So let's tell it we're done. Next Mythos Phase, please. Wendy Adams tries to speak, but instead, all of her teeth fall out one by one until she screams herself awake. She suffers 1 horror. Bam! Just instantly. Okay, so let me bust out the horror. I forgot to get these. Like, I don't even get to roll or anything for that. Jesus. Okay, so the way this works is it's not just a straight number. Instead, we have this deck of horror cards, and we have another one for wounds as well. So when it says to suffer a horror, we're going to draw a horror card and see what it says. In this case, we got a shrieking fit, which makes sense considering we just lost all our teeth. You scream and scream and scream, and then you cry, and then giggle, and then cough. We have to resolve this immediately, become restrained, then discard this card. Well, Wendy actually has the ability where she cannot be restrained. So this does absolutely nothing. Excellent. Alright, that was actually a pleasant dream of my teeth falling out. You know, no big deal. Alright, but now that's done, and I'm shuffling the damage because I forgot to do that earlier. Now that's done, the deep one is going to do its turn. The deep one moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Well, it's already in there. Then it attacks the investigator in its space who has suffered the least damage. Which, in its space, is Rita, who has suffered no damage. So, it attacks. The deep one sinks its horrible teeth into your shoulder. Do a strength test with a difficulty of 2. Which, again, I have a strength of 5, so easy. Oof, or it would be. Now, I don't have the rabbit's foot because this is technically still the same round, so I'm going to have to spend a clue in order to negate that. Which I don't want to, but I kind of gotta. But yeah, there we go. Difficulty of 2. If you pass, you resist the pain and break free from its grasp. Otherwise, we would have become dazed and suffered 2 damage, so that's alright. That's a better result. Alright, now Rita has to do a horror check against this thing because it just tried to bite her. Alright, so let's see what it does this time. You hear a horrible scrunching sound and realize the deep one is gnawing on a worm-ridden human arm. Suffer 1 horror. God damn it. I don't even get to roll. Alright, what's this one? Minor shock. You know what's minorly shocking? That the camera won't focus. Ah! Your heart races and your breath catches in your throat. Resolve immediately. No additional effect. Flip this card face down. Okay. So the deal with having face down horror is that some effects can flip it face up, in which case its effect is going to fire again. For that one, you know, nothing actually happened, so no big deal, but you know, some of them can be pretty nasty, and you don't want them flipped over if you can help it. Alright, but the Mythos phase is over, so we're back to the investigators. Now, most of the time we've been starting with Wendy. We don't have to, though. So we can switch over back to starting with Rita and beat the shit out of this deep one with my crowbar. Yeah, alright, so for her first action, she's going to attack the deep one. Alright. And then we're attacking with the crowbar, which is a heavy weapon. You drive your weapon into your opponent's chest, then follow up with a series of swings to the head and shoulders. Do a strength test plus 1. So I get to roll 6 dice now, which there's only 5 in the game, so we're going to just have to re-roll 1. Let's see. Oh, that's not great. So we'll re-roll this one. That's not very great either. Let's see. So I'm going to spend my lucky rabbit's foot to re-roll one of these die. Jesus. Okay, so I'll spend one of my clues to turn this into a success because it says the monster suffers damage equal to your test result, which our result is 2, so it takes 2 damage, which puts it at 4 damage, and it has a health of 5. So great. And Rita, remember when you killed that hunting horror in 1 swing? That was great. Can you do that again? Okay, so for other action, I'm going to have her use the King James Bible here, which its action is you are another investigator within range, may discard 1 face down horror. Well, she's in range of herself, so I'm going to discard this horror because why not? Alright, now we move over to Wendy, who first action is going to come in. And second action, we're going to have her attack with the knife, because we only need 1 more damage in order to do this, so. Alright, so we're going to attack, and the knife is a bladed weapon. So let's do that. You spring forward with a flurry of quick thrusts, probing for an opening. Do an agility test with a difficulty of 2. Alright. Let's see, Wendy's agility is 5. Oh, hell yes. We just need 2 results. Oh, we got 4, though. Oh, nice. If you pass, your blade pierces the enemy's flesh. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result. Sorry, cats were fighting. I had to break it up. Okay, so the knife's damage is 1, which is all we really need, but we technically do 5 damage to it, which, Jesus Christ, we killed the shit out of this deep one. Alright. It is dead. But Wendy still has a point of movement left, so she can actually go into the library to get ready to explore in there. Alright, but that is all for this Investigator Phase, so Mythos Phase, please. Turning, Rita Young comes face to face with the unexpected shape of a monster. What? But it is, in fact, nothing more than a shadow cast by mundane objects. Rita Young suffers one face-down horror. Jesus Christ. So when it says a face-down horror, it just means we just draw the horror card, don't look at it, and put it face down by us. Ah, you dick. Oh no. Now what? A robed figure bursts into the entrance hall and yells, "There's someone here!" You hear a muffled response from another part of the estate. "Get rid of them!" And a cultist has shown up. Awesome. And the cultist has shown up in the entrance hall down here. See where I said this game really starts to screw with you the longer you let it continue? Alright, the cultist moves up to 2 spaces to be in a space with as many investigators as possible. Well, fuck. So he moves 1, 2, and... Oh, yeah, the figures don't stay in the bases super well sometimes. So he's in the same space as Rita. Awesome. Great. Then it attacks each investigator in its space. Alright, so what's its attack? The cultist swings a staff wildly about with great fervor and little skill. Suffer 2 face-down damage, but I can do agility to negate, which Rita's agility is 4. Okay, so if I get 2 successes, I do no damage. Ah, Jesus, I got no successes. And I can't reroll any of them, so I've suffered 2 face-down damage. Well, I mean, Rita's health is 9, so that's not a huge deal. I'm just worried that those face-down damages might come back later to bite me in the butt. Alright, each investigator must resolve a horror check. Which, you know, cultist only has a horror rating of 1, but, you know, he's still kind of spooky. So Rita has to do a horror check. The cultist raises a hand, and one of your items transforms into a deadly viper. Use the observation skill with a difficulty of 2. And Rita's observation is 3. So, 1. Damn it, I don't have any clues to spend, so fuck. We do not pass. Okay, here we go. If you fail, you fling the object away. Drop 1 random item in an adjacent space. Great. So I have 3 items. Great. Okay, so let's see. Shuffle it up. I would really rather not lose my crowbar. That'd be great. And we lose. God damn it. Alright, the crowbar gets thrown into that space there. Jesus. Well, that sucks. But yeah, we're done. Wendy, need a little help over here. Huh? What's going on? Oh my god! I'm going to spend my movement action to come out, and then I'm going to attack with the knife. Alright, so we're going to attack the cultist with a bladed weapon. You launch toward your foe with a brutal stab. Do a strength check with a difficulty of 2, which she has 3. So, not great odds. Ooh, but we do it. Alright, if you pass, your weapon digs deep into the figure's stomach and you kick your foe backward off the blade. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result. So that's 1 plus 2 is 3. That is enough to kill it. Jesus Christ, Wendy just comes out, stabs the motherfucker, and just guts him. Holy shit, don't fuck with Wendy. Oh, and just for the record, killing things is not really the goal of this game. We still don't know what our actual objective is, but, you know, he was in our way, so we needed to get rid of him. Right, now that's over, I will use my other point of movement to head back into the library where I should have been the whole time. Alright, Rita's turn. I come over here, pick up the crowbar again, and use our other 2 points of movement to get back into the library. Alright. We're on our way to finally getting into that secret goddamn entrance, if we can help it. But let's see what happens in the Mythos Phase. The hairs on the back of Wendy Adams' neck stands on end. She spins around as a harsh voice calls her name. Wendy. Huh? But there is no one there. Wendy Adams suffers 2 horror, but a will can negate, which she has 3, and her Holy Cross means she can roll another one for 4. That is 2 successes right there. So she suffers no horror. Thank God. Oh, it was just the rats in the walls calling my name. No big deal. Alright, and no baddies jump out, so we can actually do another Investigator's Phase. Excellent. Okay, so let's have Wendy examine... Let me see, who's the smarter of the two? Wendy, but barely. Okay, so we're going to have Wendy examine this bookcase here to try and find the entrance. Alright, peering behind the bookshelf, the robed figure was moving. You see runic circles inscribed on the wall. Alright, so let's... You push aside the shelf to reveal the ritual circles the butler spoke of. You attempt to trace them as he told you. It's a puzzle. Okay, good. So, this is going to use our lore, which she has a lore of 3. The way this works is it's a sliding puzzle, quite literally. And the number of moves we have is equal to our stat that it's using, in this case, lore. So she has a lore of 3, so she can move 3 spaces. So let's see. Let's move this one down. That's 1. Oh, that looks good. Let's see. Next up, this one should be down for 2. And then 3. Yeah! Nice. Puzzle completed. Now, if we needed, we could also spend clue tokens to get additional movements. But if we didn't solve the puzzle in however many movements we wanted to use, we could leave the puzzle alone. The app would remember where we left off, and then we could just use another action later on to continue the puzzle. So yeah, that's one of the things this app can do. You trace a continuous line through the winding markings as the butler instructed you. Did he instruct us? Really? The rooms illuminate with a strange green light, and a wall panel pops open, revealing a secret door to a hidden study behind the wall. Gain a clue. Nice. God, I'm just drowning in clues. Wendy's like, I got all these clues. Rita, what have you been doing? And she's just covered in fucking blood. Like, I have been carrying this fucking team. Alright. So now the bookcase moves, and we see what is beyond it. The secret panel in the wall slides open noiselessly, and you peer into a hidden office. Let's see if I can find that office for us. Study. Bedroom. Here we are. The office. This gets placed right here. let's look at this office. Here we are. Just peer down a little bit. Alright. Here's our office. And then there's a painting over here instead of a door. Okay. A bookshelf filled with frightening objects is mounted on the opposite wall. Frightening objects? Really? Alright. An oak desk sits on the other side of the room. Okay. It sure does. And we can move one space for free. Now remember, Wendy moved one space to get into here. She got a free movement here. So she technically still has another move. So I can go towards the oak desk. Which I will. But that's going to end her turn. So then we move back over to Rita over here. Who... Let's see. I think it's important that we get into this office. So she's gonna move into there, and let's see what items are on this shelf. The shelf is lined with curiosities from the mundane to the horrifying. As you scan over the various items, your eyes fall on an urn marked Lilith Vanderbilt, 1856 to 1925. You pick up the urn and find it filled with ashes, and we can spend an action to smash the urn. This sounds like a bad idea, like a ghost is gonna pop out, but... You know what, why not? Let's just do it. You smash the urn in a cloud of ash and broken porcelain. The room seems to chill as you find an object amidst the ashes. As you pick it up, you hear the sound of a woman weeping. And we get candles. Let's see, candles. Where are you? Here we are. Candles. Just candles are a light source. I'll let you know if that ever comes into play. But basically it just dispels darkness. And you may discard this card to convert all clue results to Elder Sign results while casting a spell. That's alright. I don't have any spells. Wendy has the spells, but alright. Okay, and Miss Vanderbilt did not haunt us, so that is good. Alright, so we're going to leave Wendy to examine the desk and use our other point of movement to go ahead and leave. Alright, Wendy, it's all on you. As we move into the Mythos Phase. Alright, what do we got? Hissing and weaving like a serpent, a rope rises up to wrap around Wendy Adams. Do an agility check with a difficulty of 2. Oh, little do you know, fair app, that I have 5 dice. Okay, that's not a great roll, but Wendy has a shit ton of clues, so I can turn this into a success and succeed. If she passes, she dodges the rope, which collapses. Only an ordinary cord of hemp once more. Otherwise, she would suffer 2 damage and become restrained, which she can't be. So that was a good horror. And no more baddies are coming out right now, so we are doing pretty well. Alright, so let's go ahead and have Wendy check out what's up with this desk. The oak desk has been kept in good condition. A number of papers and books are neatly stored on the desk's surface. Let's search. On the desk you find what looks like a personal planner. As you pick up the book, a brass key clatters from between the pages. You turn to the page it had been holding and find a note scrawled there. If the alignment truly weakens the veil, I believe that it is the only moment we have to break through. I will make the necessary preparations in the tower. And we get the brass key and incriminating evidence. Alright, let's see. Here we are, the brass key. Now these are unique items. They don't do anything by themselves, but we're going to need them for plot points later. So Wendy's got the brass key and the incriminating evidence, which looks like this. Alright. Not bad. Right. You place the planner back onto the desk and search through the drawers. You find some things of use, but no additional evidence. But we get the Elder Sign pendant. Ooh. I mean, that sounds like a clue, I would think, but, you know, nothing incriminating, I guess. Let's see here. Here we are. Elder Sign pendant. And its special effect is roll 1 additional die while evading a monster. Evading is basically if you're in a monster space and you try to do anything other than fighting the monster, you have to try and evade it first. Alright, so that desk is searched. We now have a key and some evidence, which is great. But we're done in the library, so let's go ahead and use a move action to leave. Alright, so Rita's already outside, so let's go 1, 2, 3 and check out these scattered papers. Stack of papers has been strewn on the floor. Let's search it. Amidst the mundane paperwork, you find a weathered page covered in a strange script. Someone has scrawled a note in English across the top of the page. Speak these words for great power. That sounds like a spell. Yes, please. Let's recite the script. The Eldritch words take on a life of their own as you speak them, reshaping your mind with new understanding of the script you are looking at. The lights flicker, and you hear a whisper in your ear. Power comes with a price. Gain the Wither spell and then discard this search token. Alright, the Wither spell. Here we are. What does Wither do? Oh, Wither is actually a ranged attack that has a damage of 2. That's pretty good. Plus Rita has the candles, so she can, in an emergency, convert magnifying glass results to successes. That's pretty good. Alright, so here's Wither. Looks like this. And we're going to put it in Rita's possessions. Very nice. Alright, that's our turns done. Mythos Phase, please. The objects Rita Young has collected become crushing weights, punishing her tired limbs. Rita Young suffers 2 damage, strength negates. Well, she's got a strength of 5, so I'm pretty confident right now. Just need 2. Oh, we crushed that shit. We got 3. Oh god, if we suffered damage for each one we suffered, she would have to drop 1 random item, so that was pretty lucky. Oh, fuck me, is that... Oh. The sound of a woman weeping drifts through the mansion halls, and the air grows icy cold. The ashes strewn about the office stir, and a ghostly figure rises from the shattered remains of the urn. Okay, so, we have fucked up. And a ghost has spawned. Now, the ghost actually has a special ability, if you look on the bottom here. It has phasing, which means it can walk through walls and impassable barriers. That's fucking great. Okay. So Wendy, you are in a bit of trouble right now. Alright. Now, each investigator suffers 2 horror, but will can negate, which Wendy has 3, plus the 1 from her Holy Cross. 2, so she's fine. And now Rita, who is in a different hallway, still has to do it. She has a will of 4, so that's alright. Oof. She only has 1, so she negates 1, but she's still gonna suffer 1 horror. Let's see what she suffers from. Horrific Arcana. You whimper as your mind rejects the impossible. Resolve immediately. Suffer 1 additional face-down horror for each spell you have, then flip this card face-down. Motherfucker. Rita only has 1, though, so she's just going to take the 1 extra face-down horror. So now she's got 3 face-down horror. She only has a sanity of 5, so that's bad. Oh, now what? A robed figure appears from a side door and begins searching around. Upon seeing signs of other people, the figure yells, "There's someone here!" You hear a muffled response from another part of the estate. "Get rid of them!" So a cultist has just appeared in the kitchen. Great. Awesome. The robed figure sneaks into the dining room and comes face to face with Eugene. The butler yells in fright and flees into the entryway. Oh, Eugene, you are in trouble right now. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, but enough of Eugene right now. We have this ghost to deal with. The ghost moves 1 space toward the nearest investigator. Then it attacks the investigator in space with the lowest strength. Yep. The spirit reaches out to caress your face. Agility with a difficulty of 2. I have an agility of 5. Suck my nuts. I'm gonna get too easy. Watch this. What'd I tell you? 3 right there. If you pass, you leap backward, barely avoiding its touch. And the cultist will move up to 2 spaces to be adjacent to as many investigators as possible. Then it attacks the adjacent investigator who has suffered the most damage. Well, he's kind of way over here. So he's going to go 1, 2. And there's nobody there. So, yeah, it's just like, yeah, just move him 2 spaces closer then. Alright, so each investigator resolves a horror check against monster range. Only Wendy is within range of the ghost. So that's all that's going to happen here. The spirit moans in horrible agony, and blood begins dripping from its abdomen into a puddle on the ground. You feel your own gut ache as if punctured. You clutch your stomach and pull your hands away, red with blood. Suffer 3 face-down damage, but Will can negate, which she has 3 plus the 1 from Holy Cross. Uh, 2. Well, fuck. And there's no clues there to help me. Damn it. Alright, so we suffer 1 face down damage. There we go. That's Wendy's first bit of damage, period, so that's alright. If you suffer 1 or more damage, the sight of your own blood makes you nauseous. Become dazed. Ugh, great. Alright, so let's see here. We have a whole bunch of status effects that can happen here. And here is Dazed. So what Dazed does is you cannot spend clues to convert dice results or perform additional puzzle steps. But at the end of her next turn, this gets discarded. So Wendy is dazed right now. So magnifying glasses are useless to her right now. Awesome. But otherwise, we're good. So the Investigator Phase. Let's see here. Can you attack a ghost with a heavy weapon? Does that make sense? Because we can have Rita rush her ass over to try and save Wendy. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. 2, 3. Take this! Or I can try withering it from a distance. Like if I just come out to over here. Both pretty good options. Plus, Rita has the candles to help her with her spell casting, so let's give it a shot. We're going to attack this ghost with a spell. Alright. What you got, Rita? You focus on your body and channel the blood of every wound you have suffered into a dark curse. Do a will check. Her will is 4. Okay. Will. I got 2. Roll 2 additional dice if you have suffered 3 or more damage. I have not. Alright, crimson trails trace veins and arteries through the spirit's translucent form, then explode when they meet at its heart. The monster suffers damage equal to your test results. Then flip the spell you attacked with. Okay, so here's the thing. The ghost has 3 health. I could potentially discard my candles to make it 4 results and instantly kill the spirit, or I can leave it with the 1 health left over and let Wendy try to finish it off with her knife. Tough choices. I'd rather go for the guaranteed kill right now, so we're going to discard the candle to turn these into successes. So we rolled 4, so it does 4 damage. The ghost has died. Oh. So now we have to flip the spell over to see the back. Now what's the back effect of Wither? The spell rises in your mind like a living thing, lashing out at random... again, I'm having trouble reading the camera, so I'm just going to read it here. Lashing out at random around you. Suffer 1 face-down damage. Then discard this and gain another Wither spell. So now Rita's got 3 damage. So now we reshuffle this into the packs of Withers. I told you spells had side effects, right? I did mention that? Alright. Now we're going to draw a new one to replace it. Okay. So we still have the spell. That's fine. Okay. Oops. Okay. So I still have 1 point of movement. So let's go out here. So we got a cultist to deal with who's on his way. Also, we have to figure out if any... It's probably either of these Noors is the one to the tower. Let's see. Okay, I see. So this... I took a look in the app. This one has a brass lock. So that's the one we want to go to. And then this one supposedly leads to a bedroom. So that's what we've got going for us. Is my laptop battery okay? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Okay, so Rita's done. Now we can move on to Wendy, who's going to do a move action. 1, 2. And now we're going to do an action called pushing. Now the way pushing works is basically Wendy's going to take Rita, just like, quickly. She's going to grab her shoulder and go this way, and push her 1 space, and then she can follow 1 space. This really comes in handy if you need to get the whole group moving at once. If you want to push something that's unwilling to be pushed, then you have to do a strength check against them. But no, this was fine. Alright, so our turns are done, and Wendy's no longer dazed. So let me discard that as we begin the Mythos Phase. Alright. With a start, Wendy Adams snaps out of a fugue state to see smashed finery and deep gouges on the nearby walls. Could she have caused this damage in a blind rage? Well, I hope not, considering you were just pushing Rita. Wendy Adams suffers 3 damage. Strength plus 1 negates. Okay, so her strength is 3, so plus 1 makes it 4. And we're trying to get 3, alright. I can spend a clue to make that 2. So we do suffer 1 damage. Then she flips all of her damage face up. Oh, that's bad. Alright, so the 1 damage she's gonna flip is a minor injury. Focus, please. Please focus. Come on. Look at me. Look at me. Fuck it, I'll just read it. It's only a flesh wound. Resolve immediately. No additional flip this card face down, but then she flips all of her damage face up. And her other damage, it's a broken leg. You hear your bones break with a sickening crunch. Your leg will not bear even the smallest weight. We have to keep this face up. If we move more than a single space as part of a move action, we have to flip 1 other damage face up. That sucks. Okay. So she's kind of become crippled. And, oh, now what? And now you will pay the price for that power. The lights flicker and the air crackles with electricity. Suddenly, reality seems to split before you and a terrifying creature slips through an unknowable space beyond. Hey, remember when we got that spell? Whoops. Well, that's great. Oh, by the way, did you remember the cultist was a thing? He moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. So it goes... So, we got a cultist right behind this door. And now the hunting horror that just spawned moves 3 spaces towards the investigator within range with the lowest sanity. The lowest sanity is Rita. So it's going to attack Rita right now, which makes sense since Rita stole the spell. The beast stalks into the shadows, then circles around to attack from the rear. Suffer 2 face-down damage. Observation -1 negates. Her observation's only 3, so -1 makes it a 2. Oh, that sucks. Oof. Well, I do still have my lucky rabbit's foot, though, so I can reroll this. Fuck. Alright, so suffer 2 face-down damage. At least it's face-down, so that's something. So she has a total of 5 damage right now. If you suffer 1 or more damage, you are caught by surprise and staggered. Become stunned. Damn it. Alright, let me get that condition out of this deck. There we are, stunned. So stunned, oops, sorry, right here. You cannot perform more than a single action during your turn, but this is discarded at the end of your next turn. That really sucks. Now each investigator has to resolve a horror check against this wonderful hunting horror we've unleashed. God damn it. I was so greedy for spells, I didn't really think of it. I was just like, oh, whispering piece of paper. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so since we're both next to the hunting horror, we both resolved the same horror check. So, let's see what happens. The creature's keening cry rises all around you. Suffer 3 face-down horror, will negates. Okay. So Wendy, thanks to her Holy Cross, gets to roll 4. She gets... Was it 3 face-down horror? Alright, I'll spend a clue. Turn this into a success. So she only suffers 1 face-down horror. Which, to be fair, that's her first one, so that's not bad. Next up is Rita. Oh wait, hang on. If you suffer 1 or more horror, it seems the haunting notes become physical things, binding you to the ground. Become restrained. Well, Wendy cannot become restrained, so that's fine. But Rita, we really need you to not be horrified because you do not have much sanity left. Fuck. Just one. I don't even have my rabbit's foot anymore. Damn it. Alright, so 2 face down horror is actually enough to hit her sanity limit. So she now has 5 horror in total. So what happens? Well, all the face down horror gets discarded. And then she becomes insane. This is always pretty bad. Basically what insanity does is it changes your win condition, or it changes how you have to act, or something along those lines. Usually, becoming insane means you want the other investigators to die or become horribly wounded. So, yeah, if you become insane, be prepared for your allies to not trust you anymore. Alright, not that one. This one. Okay. So the insanity that she drew is restless anxiety. Oh, by the way, if you're playing with multiple people, you cannot reveal in any way what your insanity trait is. So restless anxiety. You are suddenly stricken with the sense that your life up to this point has been not only boring, but pointless. Life is too short to not experience as much of the world as possible. Variety is the spice of life, after all. You cannot perform any single action more than once each round. You win or lose, the game is normal. That sucks. Okay, so she can't repeat any actions. That's not the worst thing that could have happened, but not great. Okay, so... Oh, also, she suffered a horror, so she gets bound to the ground, becomes restrained. I forgot about that. Let's see here. Here we are, restrained. Looks like this. I love the art on these cards. It's so good. You cannot move voluntarily. Oh. At the end of your turn, discard this card. Okay, that really sucks. So she's planted to this spot right now. Well, we're done with the Mythos Phase, so now... Okay, right. We have a problem. We got the hunting horror standing in the way of both of us, and we have a cultist. I am a cultist. He's on his way. So we're in a bad spot. Let's see. Why don't we go ahead and start with Rita? She can only do a single action anyways because she's stunned, so her anxiety's not really going to stop her. So let's go ahead and have her attack with the crowbar. Because that worked out really well before. Attack with a heavy weapon. As the creature rears up, you brace your weapon. A strength test with a difficulty of 2. Okay. I can do that. Yep. 2 exactly. If you pass, the creature's own bulk drives your weapon deep into its flesh. The monster suffers damage equal to the weapon's damage plus your test result. Oh, I could instantly kill it here if I get another success. So I'm going to use my rabbit's foot to re-roll this. Come on. Yes! Alright, so that's 3 successes plus the 2 from the crowbar means 5 damage. It is dead. Now, unfortunately, that's Rita's only action for this turn, so that sucks. But she's no longer restrained or stunned, so that's fine. I'll live with that. So now we can move on to Wendy. There's a cultist on his way, but that's fine. Rita can handle it, right? Yeah, I think so. So let's go 2 movement actions to come over here. Let's get a better shot. And now let's go ahead and open this with our key. Since Wendy is the one who has the key. A weathered door stands at the end of the hall. You hear bizarre noises from the other side. When you try the handle, you find the door is locked. A keyhole sits beneath the brass door handle. You can explore only if you have the brass key unique item, which she does. So, explore. Alright, What's in here? As you open the door to the tall tower, the stairs and walls creak as if exhaling a breath of dusty air. Boxes and other objects are lined against the walls, and a massive circle of runes has been carved into the floor beneath the bell. Alright, so the bell tower. Oh boy, let's see. Bell tower. Here we are. Right there. Okay. Right. Among the boxes stacked above the stairs, you spot something useful. There's a sledgehammer on the boxes. Okay. Let's see. Sledgehammer. Where are you? Pickaxe, shovel. Here we are. Sledgehammer. It's a heavy weapon that does 2 damage. And, oh, it actually has an effect. Let's see. So here's the sledgehammer. It actually has an effect down here. You may suffer 2 face-down damage to convert all clue icons to elder signs while attacking with this card. Okay, so you can hurt yourself to guarantee more hits. That's alright. Oh, Jesus. 2 robed figures stand across from each other over the ritual circle, chanting. The one nearest to you seems to be in some kind of trance and hardly acknowledges your approach. But the other one definitely does. Alright. So we have a cultist. Now to differentiate him from the other cultist that's down here, we can actually insert this little token here, just to say, hey, that's the red symbol cultist. The other figure lowers the hood of his robe and points to you with an ornate dagger. What are you doing on my property? You are meddling in things you do not understand, and you will die for it! Alright, a priest of Dagon has spawned. It's William Vanderbilt. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's see. The priest of Dagon. Here he is. Yeah, they'll just both be like that. Speaking of which, the cultists don't have any abilities, do they? No. Okay. Always gotta remember to check that. Which, did the hunting horrors? Okay. Okay. Well, great. Guess what? We're not done. William Vanderbilt begins chanting a heinous incantation that causes reality to warp and shift. A terrible creature slips through the fabric of reality and into our world. A deep one has appeared in the office. Oh boy, we are in for a world of hurt right now. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Elsewhere in the mansion, a second horrifying being breaches the barrier between worlds. A hunting horror has appeared. He's appeared right in the entrance hall there next to Eugene. Oh boy. Oh, that sounds good. The ritual circle on the ground is scattered with candles, skulls, and other trinkets. If you could get these ritual components, you could stop the cult's vile magics and have enough proof to condemn the Vanderbilt family. Place an interact token. This is the other side of a search token. It's interact. That just means it's an object. You know what it is. You don't have to search it, but you can interact with it. Alright, you may move one space in the explored area. Nope, I'm good. You must interrupt the ritual taking place before it is complete. Alright, we have our objective. We have to stop the ritual, and then we win. Which means I could... No, because they're going to come for me. So I would really rather not, so let's... Oh boy. We really should have waited a turn. Because now we got fucking 5 enemies on the field right now. Alright, but, yep, our turn's over. Oh, whoops, I forgot. I forgot. Wendy had a broken leg, so I had to flip a damage face up, but it's a minor injury, so nothing happened. I'm sorry. Alright. Cross your fingers, folks. We're in the Mythos Phase. A strange vaporous color fills the air. This Mythos event affects each investigator in the bell tower. Nobody's in the bell tower, so no effect. See, I was smart to not walk in there. Alright, the cultist moves 2 spaces. Specifically, this cultist moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator, which it can. Right there, meets up with Rita. Then attacks the investigating space who has suffered the least damage. Well, process of elimination, it's Rita, so he attacks. The cultist raises a staff and swings down at your head with a forceful, sweeping motion. Agility check with a difficulty of 2. Rita's agility is 4. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Rita, we really needed you to get more clues. Alright. If you fail, the cultist staff collides with your skull, suffer 1 face-down damage, and become stunned. Well, that's great. So, that is her 6th damage, and now she's stunned. Hey, Rita, remember when you were, like, kicking ass? That was great. So, as a reminder, stunned means she can only take 1 action on her next turn. Okay, the other cultist, this guy, moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator, then attacks the one with the fewest clues. Well, process of elimination, that's Wendy. So, yep, he attacks. The cultist holds a staff aloft, threatening you with it. Observation test with a difficulty of 2, which Wendy's observation is 4. So 4 dice. Yep, 2 successes. Very nice. If you pass, you notice the blade in the other hand and twist it into a counterattack. The monster suffers 1 damage. Nice. Okay, cool. Alright, William Vanderbilt's now going to go. Vanderbilt moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. Well, fuck. Wendy is in a bad spot right now. Let me see if I can get a better shot of her. Not really. To just sit on the board a little bit. Okay. So yeah, she's in a bad spot. Attacks the investigator with the most damage. That's Wendy. So he attacks. Vanderbilt utters a low incantation and a strange, salt-smelling mist forms in the air. Do an observation test with a difficulty of 2. Wendy's observation is 4. This one's cocked. Let's reroll it. Okay, I'm going to have to spend a clue to make this a success. Alright. If you pass, you recognize the danger and cover your mouth to avoid inhaling more of the noxious mist. Suffer 1 face-down damage. God damn it. Even though I succeeded, I suffer a face-down damage. So that gives her 3. Let's see. If we failed, it would have been so much worse, so we would have to flip some damage face up. Alright, now, moving on over to the deep one over there. There's 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator, so he's going to go... what's his ability? Okay, yeah, his special ability is he's aquatic, so he can swim in water if he needs to. There's no investigators there. And now, the hunting horror down here moves 3 spaces towards the investigator within range with the lowest agility. There's nobody in range. So, what happens now? The creature opens its mouth and breathes in, tasting the air. Catching the scent of prey, the creature shrieks and slithers through the air. He moves 3 spaces towards the nearest investigator. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We are so boned right now. We are incredibly boned. Alright, each investigator now has to resolve a horror check. Okay, so... the biggest horror for both of our investigators is this hunting horror. So that's what they're going to have to do the check against. God damn. Oh, we got fucking ambushed. Alright, hunting horror. Let's go. The creature makes a strange whistling noise that pierces through the din, flapping wings and whipping tail. Do a will test with a difficulty of 2. Alright, let's start with Wendy, because she gets the Holy Cross, which makes her will 4. Difficulty of 2, she passes. If you pass, you cover your ears and wait for the sound to fade. And nothing happens. Alright, now, Rita has a will of 4. She passes as well. Okay. Very nice. Rita, I know you want to escape, but you really can't right now. Alright, Mythos Phase over. We move on to another Investigator Phase. Jesus Christ. Right, how do we want to deal with this? I mean, best thing I can do is try... Because Wendy's got an Elder Sign pendant, she can... So she can have an easier time evading. So what I can try is to have her move into the clock tower just to try and bum rush that ritual if we can. Oh god. But it's going to be hard. She's going to have to get past Mr. Vanderbilt, and he's not going to be easy. But honestly, it's the best idea I got right now, because I don't think we're really going to be fighting our way out of this. Oh, man. Alright, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. So, Wendy here is going to try and evade Mr. Vanderbilt. Alright. Vanderbilt lunges at you as you turn away. An agility check with difficulty of 2. Well, thank God. I have an agility of 5. So this should go well. Well, I'm out of clues, too. Fuck. I get an additional die because of the Elder Sign. I forgot. So please, please, please. Yes! If you pass, you sidestep the charge. Alright, so I've evaded him. I get to continue my move action to go into there. Alright, well, here goes nothing. Let's see, a ritual circle is carved into the ground and scattered with components. You attempt to retrieve the ritual components, but a malign energy protects them. Well, let's try. Disrupt the ritual. Using your gut and scraps of knowledge you have gathered, you attempt to remove the items without triggering the defensive... Oh, whoops, I forgot. I have a broken leg. I have to flip a damage face up. I keep forgetting about that. Alright, we flip up. Okay, we flip up the minor injury, so there's no additional effect. Whew. Lord knows what that other damage is. Alright. Anyway, you attempt to remove the items without triggering the defensive magic. Do a lore test. You may discard any number of evidence to convert an equal number of clues to Elder Signs. Okay. Her lore is 3. Okay. Okay, cross your fingers. Here we go. Give me something good. 2. Okay, and there's nothing I can discard for that, so 2. Confirm. You remove several items successfully, but you trip up, causing the magic to lash out at you and burn your skin, suffer a face-down damage. Damn. That's fine, though. That's fine. Okay, see, that's all right, because we're actually making progress. Okay. All right, so that's fine. Let's move over to Rita. She only gets 1 action, so we're gonna have to make it count. What I think is gonna happen here is we're just going to have her evade into here to be bait. To be bait and draw all the monsters towards her and away from Wendy and hope that Wendy on her next turn can get that ritual stopped. Oh, this is going to suck, but here we go. So we're going to have to evade the hunting horror, though, so... good luck. The creature displays remarkable agility, hovering sideways into your path with a shriek. Do an agility test, the difficulty of 3. Oh, and I've only got 4. Nope, I fail. If you fail, your attempts to escape are met with a slashing claw. Suffer 1 damage and forfeit your action. So I don't move, and I suffer 1 damage, which is old injuries. We have to resolve this immediately. Flip one other damage face up, then discard this card. Okay, no, that's not bad. So, let's see. She's got all face down damage, so let's shuffle this up and flip one at random. And we flip up a minor injury. No additional effect, flip it face down. Okay. That's fine, but old injuries gets discarded, so no additional damage there. That's nice. And that's her only action for this turn, so stun gets discarded. And Mythos Phase. Alright, let's see. Rita Young's limbs are wrenched into impossible angles by an invisible force. She suffers 4 damage, but strength plus 1 negates. She has a strength of 5. So I can roll 6 dice to try and negate this damage. Absolutely nothing. Holy shit. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm very screwed. I can Lucky Rabbit's Foot this, which I might as well. Let's see. Okay, it knocked the other one aside, but that ended up resulting in a 1 success. So she suffers 3 damage. So let's start. First one, Stinging Pain. I resolve immediately, drop 2 random items, then flip this face down. Fuck. And for the record, items you can drop include spells. So, awesome. Let's see here. What do we get? Don't look. We drop the King James Bible. So it just gets dropped right in our space. Okay. That was damage number 1. Damage number 2. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So damage number 2 is a broken leg. We know what that does. Can't move more than 1 space without hurting ourselves. And damage 3, just a scratch. No effect, discard. Okay. So amazingly, we're fine. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 8 damage on her, but she has 9 health. So she can actually suffer 1 more damage before becoming wounded. Which wounded basically means you get majorly crippled. Alright, so non-tokened cultist, this guy, moves 2 spaces to the nearest investigator and attacks. The cultist swings a staff at your ankles. The ground rushes up at you as you are knocked off your feet. Suffer 2 damage, but agility can negate. She has an agility of 4. Okay, so we get 2. Oh, more than enough. We actually got 3 there. So 3. So no damage. Now, marked cultist over here moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator, which Wendy and Rita are equidistant, so we actually get to choose where he goes. But let me clarify something in the rules. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I had to double check. I don't believe there's actually any rule about how many figures can be in a space at any time. So, we can have our cultist gang up on Rita over here. Oh boy. The cultist disappears into the shadows. There is little time to react as you are ambushed with an agility check with a difficulty of 1. Okay, Rita, you should have this. Oh yeah, she's got 2. If you pass, the cultist reappears just behind you, but you manage to scramble away. Alright, now Mr. Vanderbilt. Now, logically he would go for the ritual, but again, it's still our technical choice, so he moves towards the nearest investigator, so everybody gang up on Rita. Again, I couldn't find a rule that said there's a limit to the number of figures that can be in a spot, so... Alright, so he attacks. Vanderbilt comes in low and lifts you into the air. Agility with a difficulty of 2. Wow, a lot of agility checks. Pass. If you pass, you knee your foe in the face and drop to the ground with a thud. Suffer 1 face down damage. Okay. 1 face down. So, 6, 7, 8, 9. That hits our health value, so unfortunately, weapons now is all face down damage gets discarded, which unfortunately means she still has the broken leg. And she becomes wounded. Which is great, because not only is she insane, now she's wounded. Which wounded... Here we are. Wounded looks like this. Focus. There we go. What it means is you cannot perform the move action more than once each round, which is fine because our insanity trait already took care of that. By the way, with insanity and being wounded, if you would ever become insane or wounded a second time, you're dead. Alright, but anyways, the deep one moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator. So he goes, raw. Everybody gang up on Rita. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is bad. Now the hunting horror moves towards the investigator within range with the most items. Well, technically that would be her, but the door blocks range, so he's ganging up on Rita. The creature lashes out with 2 rope-like limbs, grabbing hold of your arms and possessions. Suffer 2 damage, agility negates. Everything is agility, holy shit. Man, Rita, you were getting really lucky. 2, so yeah, nothing. For each damage you suffer, drop a random item. We suffered nothing. Alright, now we have to resolve horror. Wendy doesn't have to, but Rita does against the hunting horror. Bracing its body against the ground, the abomination heaves and coughs and vomits an unending torrent of blood. The coppery smell overwhelms you. Do a will test with a difficulty of 2. Alright, so our will's 4. Fail. Let's see. If you fail, you scream and scream and cannot stop screaming. Suffer 2 horror and become dazed. Alright, so first horror she suffers. Nyctophobia. Alright. You are not afraid of the darkness, exactly, but you are afraid of what the darkness might be concealing. We have to keep this face up, and whenever you end your turn in a space with darkness, suffer a face-down horror. That's not bad. Nothing's triggered darkness yet, so that's fine. Alright, second horror, minor shock. Resolve immediately, no additional effect, goes face down. Okay. Ooh, boy. Alright. But we also become dazed, that's right. So dazed, if you remember, you cannot spend clues to convert dice rolls or use extra puzzle uses. Okay. But other than that, we are good. So, okay, Wendy. Wendy. We need this ritual stopped right now. Alright, first action. Disrupt the ritual. We attempt to remove the items without triggering the magic. Do a lore test. Her lore is 3. Let's get a good shot of Wendy here. During, hopefully, our victory. Okay. So I can discard a piece of evidence here to turn one of those into successes for another 2. Right. Carefully performing each step, you remove the components from the ritual circle. Almost immediately, some of the malign energy seems to fade from the air around you. You have put an end to the cult's vile scheme. Gain the ritual component's unique item. Oh my god. Okay, we stopped the ritual. And we have ritual components. Which looks like that. Okay, holy shit. We actually did a thing. Okay, did we win, though? Oh, no. Oh, no. The investigation is complete. If an investigator escapes the mansion with the ritual component's unique item. Oh, we have to actually leave with it. Oh, Oh no. Oh, come on. Ritual stopped. Aren't I done? Alright, we win once the investigation is complete. So what we have to do is we have to take the ritual components which Wendy currently has over here, run it all the way back through here to the entrance. If we can get to the entrance, we win. Okay, now, here's the thing. Wendy could potentially haul ass and get over there, as long as Rita can continue being a distraction. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. For Wendy's second action, she's going to cast Flesh Ward, which lets her discard 1 damage. It doesn't have to be face down damage, so she can discard her broken leg, which we're going to do. This will allow her to move completely normally. Okay, but I have to flip this card over and read its effect. Alright, what happens? You become aware of every facet of your body and those of your companions. Do a lore check with a difficulty of 2. Pass. If you pass, you see a solution for a malady. You or another investigator within range flip 1 damage face down. Can't do that. Then we get a different copy of Flesh Ward. Oh man. We are... All I can do is just have Rita continue to be the punching bag. Hope she survives long enough that we can get Wendy to just haul ass and get out. Okay, so I'm gonna get another copy of Flesh Ward. Okay, because what we can do is, let me think. Because on Wendy's turn, she can move twice. Go 1, 2, 1, 2. If she meets up with Rita here, Rita can use an action to take the evidence and run. So if we can get Rita here, we might be okay. It's not going to be easy. Alright, so Rita needs to... Let's have her attack a cultist. We're going to have her attack this cultist since he's actually suffered a damage with her crowbar. Alright. You swing at a powerful downward angle, attempting to crush your foe. Strength with a difficulty of 2. Fail. Damn it. Wait, no. Rabbit. No, save the rabbit's foot for when I'm evading. Let's see. If you fail, the figure sidesteps, swing, strikes you as your weapon drawn. As you heave your weapon back off the ground. Yes, I know my battery's running low. Give me a minute. Suffer 1 face down damage. Well, that sucks. That sucks. Well, let's pray that's nothing bad, because we're going to have to run our asses out of here. Okay. So now we're going to have to evade the hunting horror. Okay. The creature's grasping talons whip toward you. Suffer 3 face down damage, but agility plus 1 negates. Which has an agility of 4. Plus 1 makes it 5. 1 success. So we suffer 2 face down damage. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. If you suffer 2 or more damage, 1 claw catches your leg, forfeit your action. Fuck! Oh. If only I could have gotten 1 more... No, wait, rabbit's foot. I forgot I can do this. Okay. No, it's still a fail. Damn it. Okay. Well, we are so dead. We are incredibly dead, but let's see how it goes. You had not noticed before, but there is something strange about the walls in this room. This affects the bell tower, okay. The more you study them, the more the walls look yellowed. An awful pattern of grooves suggests claw marks. Suffer 2 horror, but not or will negates, which I can roll an extra thanks to my Holy Cross. 3, so we're good. Now the Cultist Attacks. Now this is unmarked Cultist. Is going to attack Rita. A pale hand darts out from under the cultist cloak and grabs your neck. You claw at the ghoulish hand as that squeezes down in your windpipe. Suffer 2 face down damage. Strength -1 negates. Oh.